Hello, card folks. Speedrobo here, and today I'm going to record a simple video walking you through what a sample turn in Necromansters is going to look like. So let's get started. We're going to do the setup. So this is going to be the setup if you're playing Duel of the Dead or custom cadaver mode. Duel of the Dead is where you just play the pre-constructed decks against each other. Custom cadaver is where you bring your own deck to the table. This will generally be the same in funeral party mode, but in funeral party you're going to send slightly more cards to the graveyard and you're all going to draw from the same communal deck. Other than that, it will be the same. So let's get started. First thing you're going to want to do is draw one Manster and 4 Morgue cards. This is going to be your starting hand. Next, you set up the graveyard, sending 1 Manster and 2 Morgue to the graveyard. The order is very important because whenever a card is discarded, it is sent to the bottom of the graveyard, and the graveyard needs to stay in the order that it is, because when you draw at the start of your turn, you can also draw the top card of your graveyard. Okay, the last thing we're going to do during setup, once we determine who's going first, is that all players get a chance to play up to 3 cards from their hand right away. Now, why this is so important is this makes it so that the player who goes first doesn't just get a free shot on their opponent's life points right out of the gate. So let's go ahead and play 3 cards. I will play a bone, and a meat to my active slab. Now you might notice this token up here. This is going to denote what is my active and inactive slab. The slab with the token is active, the slab without is inactive. Your active slab attacks and takes damage. Your inactive slab does not attack and does not take damage, cannot be attacked. Think of this like your active and bench in Pokemon. Okay, that's all for setup, so now we're going to take turns. You can see the turn order down here. So we get to draw 1 card from either of our 3 piles here. I am going to go ahead and take a Manster, actually. That is pretty good. Alright, so now that we have drawn, we can offer to trade cards in our hand with any of the opponents. Obviously, I'm by myself just shadowboxing, so I'm not going to do that. Next, it is essentially our main phase. During this phase, we have 2 choices. We can play up to 3 cards from our hand, or we can choose to draw 1 additional card. And keep in mind, when we draw, it can be from here, here, or here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to choose to play. So I'm going to play my Necronomicon here. Now this is very important. You might notice how this stack has a bone, a meat, and a spirit in it. This means it is now alive. This will fight for me and defend for me. It has 3 hit points, and it has 5 attack. At the end of my turn, if it is active, it will automatically attack my opponent's active slab. If I have more than 1 opponent, I choose which opponent it attacks. If I only have a single opponent, it attacks my single opponent. Now, HP in this game works like it does in Hearthstone. It is sticky. It will stay around. This is why we have these counters here, and in the physical edition you might notice that there are numbers on the side of your character card. Please slide the character card under your stack to indicate what its hit points are. Okay, with that, I will now trigger the Spirit ability of Necronomicon. All Spirit abilities are on play unless otherwise stated. So, on play, I draw 4 cards from any pile or piles and discard 3 of those cards, keeping 1 of those cards into my hand. So I am going to 1, 2, 3, and 4. I am going to keep this, and I will discard the rest, choosing the order they go in. I am going to send that there, then that, then that. I like that order. That's pretty good. Okay, now it is still my main phase, allowing me to play up to 2 more cards. So I will go ahead and play this Manster. You may notice, this Manster does not have any requirements, like Ichabod. Ichabod has requirements. How do you know what those requirement icons next to Ichabod's name mean? Simply flip over your quick reference card, and on this card you will notice that it explains what the condition icons are as well as the type icons. So Ichabod has the top 2 icon. Top 2. In order to play this Manster, the listed types must be in the top 2 cards of the stack. And it has Bone and Spirit. So if I wanted to play Ichabod on top of my finished stack, which Mansters can only be played on top of stacks that are finished, Morgue cards can only be played on stacks that are unfinished. So if I wanted to play Ichabod here, I would need a Bone and a Spirit in the top 2. As you can see, I have Meat and Spirit in my top 2, but no Bone, therefore I cannot play Ichabod. So instead I will play the Unpronounceable that does not have a condition, so I can play it on top of any stack so long as it is finished. I will do so. This allows me to scavenge 1 from the graveyard. I am going to scavenge Whalus. And for my final play, I will play Whalus on my inactive slab, allowing me to draw 1 more card. I will draw Flawdle. All right. Seems good. Okay, that is all for my main phase. Now I may choose to swap my active or inactive slabs if I so choose. I do not want to do that. Therefore, I will simply attack, which automatically ends my turn. Since I played this Manster, I now have an additional 2 HP, equaling to 5 hit points, and an additional 2 attack, equaling a total of 7 attack, so I will attack my opponent for 7. If they did not have a slab that is finished, that has a finished stack on it, and is alive, they will take this damage straight to their life points. All players start with 10 life points, reduce all of your opponent's life points to 0 to win the game. And that is the gist of how to play Necromansters. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. I just wanted to run through a sample turn with you guys nice and fast here. The last thing I want to show you is, let's say, hypothetically, my opponent were to deal 5 damage to the Unpronounceable, dropping it to 0. This is now destroyed, and it will go to the bottom of the discard in a very specific order. This order to be specific. So your most recent card played must go to the bottom. All right, I think that's pretty much everything. Like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll be around to answer them. Thanks!